I want to share a conversation model that I use when sellers want to overprice their homes on a listing consult. So the objective that they have is to not leave any money on the table. And the objective that I have is to not leave any listings on the table. And at the same time, I want to make sure that I take the weight of the listing not selling off of my shoulders and put it back on theirs. So here's kind of how it works. At this point in the consult, you've already showed them market data or some reason where your price is where it is, and they say, yeah, but I still want to place it here. I'll pause for a second. I'll say, is it okay if I share something with you that once you see, you can't unsee? They'll say, sure. And I'll say, okay, great. I'll circle the word market on market value on what I've got written down in front of me. And I'll say, the reason we call it market value is because it's really just a marketplace. And all marketplaces work like an auction. Have you been to an auction before? They're going to say yeah or no, but I kind of know how it works. And I'll say, okay, great. Well, in an auction, who leaves with the item? The answer is the highest bidder, right? Whoever's willing to pay the most. What do you think happens if your bid is higher than anybody else's for this house? They'll get to keep the house, right? And so once they say that, you'll say, okay, great. So we've got your bid here at $270,000, and then we've got the market. Looks like the data showing us that it's willing to bid $250,000 for it. The great news I've got for you is that the house transacts or sells whenever the highest bidder changes. So whenever someone else is willing to bid more than you. And that happens in one of two ways. Either by you lowering your bid or the market raising their bid higher than where yours is. And the great news is we've got appreciation data from the past, and I can tell you how long, historically speaking, it should take for the marketplace's bid to be higher than yours. Would you like to see how it works? They say yes, and then I just show them historical appreciation data. So with those numbers I showed you before, if it looks like 4% appreciation a year, for example, then it should take about 2 years for the marketplace to go from $250,000 to $270,000. So now I've got a timeline for when their bid, if they don't drop the price, should be higher or should be lower than the market's. And then once I've got that in front of them, I just go back to motivation and I'll say, you told me you wanted to be in Arizona by Christmas. Would you rather lower your bid to make that happen by Christmas, or are you okay waiting until December of 2027?